Did you hit it?
And we are back for another live episode of the Kingdom. Good to see you, Drums. Good to see you, Reggie. Good to see everybody out there. We got a good show tonight titled Know Thyself. We're looking inside. We're doing some soul searching tonight. So Drums is going through some stuff, but can't forget to welcome all of our viewers across this beautiful country of ours. Lots going on here. We're just going to get to the show. So we'll see you in 30 seconds.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. As always, my name is Drums, and I'm joined by the brothers behind Kngdom, Regan and Jordan Headley, as we usually do. Can't say always anymore because we call audibles every now and then, but we'll send it up north to our boy Reg, see what's going on up there. How you doing, big guy?
Yeah, there's no cough attack this week, so there's no audibles this week. Not much is going on up here. Golf course open in Brandon today. Would have killed to be there, but couldn't make it work. Very, 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 very exciting weekend on tap for me. The annual, I guess it is. It's the second annual trip to UND with 7 of us from town here to go see Reese play for the weekend. We're going to leave Friday morning. Boys decided they couldn't wait any longer, so we're leaving tomorrow after work. So it's going to turn into a 3-day weekend down at UND. So it's exciting. It's like Christmas morning, honestly.
I think Drums is having some issues here.
Yeah, Drums might be gone.
Drums is texting, oh boy, that's never good. Anyways, we're going to carry on here. Maybe Drums will be here. Maybe Drums will not be here. I'm sure he'll figure it out. But we'll carry on as usual.
He's gone.
You
sound good on my end, so I don't know if it's either one of us.
Okay, yeah, same to you. When you going there? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow after work.
Beauty. How far is that trip?
About 6 hours, I think. 2 hours on the way. 2 hours on the way there, and 10 on the way back.
Yeah, pretty much. Although I'm the opposite of you. I always think that time goes by way faster when you're coming back. You have said the opposite before. So we're going to kick Drums out of here for a second until he gets his shit together. But yeah, what's that?
What's going on there?
Oh, not much. Pretty quiet here right now. Still snow on the ground. I don't know what the big difference between here and Brandon is, but guys are golfing here, and we're struggling to get out of the driveways in Rossburn. So different part of the world, I guess. Kind of shitty, but also pretty nice out here. I'm a big fan of winter here. It's just beautiful looking outside and very peaceful. I say that every show, but it's the truth. And usually I eat the Spence Bros Zaw before the show. Not tonight. I jumped the gun last night, ate it, and Drums is fully gone now. Wanted to eat the pizza last night, ate it. So tonight I had chicken and pasta, and I ate so much pasta. I don't know. I should be in jail. I ate so much pasta. Like, I do not feel well. You can probably hear my stomach grumbling. It's so full.
Like, how much are we talking?
We're talking like I tried a new package. I don't know how long it was in the pantry for. I don't know where it came from. And you know, when you go to like put pasta into the bowl, you don't really know how much is going to be made. It seems like a lot less than actually comes out. So I had a full plate of pasta, chicken, like half a can of tomato sauce because I wanted to use that up, and 2 pieces of cheese toast. So I'm like, I could be in a full coma right now. Drummy's back. Welcome, Drummy. How you doing, bud?
I think he looks like he's on channel 4 of the dial-up TVs. The picture from my end, anyways.
He looks like he's taking whatever Christia Freeland's been taking.
You always got to get something. I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who that is?
No, I don't have
Oh
a
my
clue.
Cammy's in the chat
Yeah.
tonight. Don't cross the border
I
at
don't-
Emerson. Waited for over an hour last weekend. What was going on there, though? I feel like there was something. Oh, the Vikings were playing.
It's also Black Friday this weekend, so I don't know what's going to happen, isn't it?
I think it's
I'm getting
next
all these.
weekend.
I'm getting all these deals on my phone as if it's this weekend, but yeah, maybe you're right.
I thought it was last Friday because I got like 1,000 emails from companies saying Black Friday week. It's just like November. As soon as, well, not even American companies don't even wait for Remembrance Day to be over, but as soon as November hits, it's like Black Month.
Did it not used to be like a different thing? Like, I feel like online shopping kind of killed Black Friday.
Well, yeah, Black Friday used to be like you go to the stores and they had all the deals
And
on
wait,
like in-store items.
But I
They
feel
were
like
much
they
better
still do
deals.
it.
Yeah.
And it absolutely like it floors me. Like, sorry, I was panicking. I'll just find it at the time. I was looking. I just remembered you said to get a video for later on in the show, and I panicked that I didn't get it. But I want to focus on this.
Yeah, wait till Jeremy's back.
Why do people ever buy TVs and stuff like that any other time of the year? I guess I think I've said it on here before, but like if you need one at the time, I guess it's the only time. But like they go down to like half price every Black Friday. Like it's nothing new. Like I think I bought 3 of the 4 TVs I have on Black Friday, and the other one I got on a crazy good deal somewhere else. Like I can't imagine paying full price for a TV.
If you're paying full price for a TV, you're a dummy.
Or
Jeremy's
rich.
back on his phone. Nice.
Yeah. Pumped about it too.
You're gonna have to use your AI software to clean up your audio.
Apparently, gonna have to use something.
Okay, so you're a little bit laggy, but you're okay.
Good.
How's your mic? What are you using for a mic?
The telephone.
Okay.
It sounds like you called into the show. We've got
Long-time
Jason
listener, first-time caller.
We've got Jason from Brandon on the line. Jason, tell us about how things are going in Brandon.
Yeah, over here in Brandon, she's pretty nice. Real nice for middle of November. Saw a bunch of the boys were out golfing today, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, no, not much over here. Pretty relaxed. We accomplished a lot of family things this weekend, so it was a decently relaxing, long weekend, so it's good.
I caught some of that, Drums, not all of it though. The mic is yeah, I wouldn't say the mic's great. Is there any chance of boosting that mic or changing it or something? If not, we'll move on. But
actually, give me 1 second here. Or keep going. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, I'll mute you. That was our special 150 episode guest, Drums. Reggie's still losing his marbles here. What were we even talking about?
He came on and he's pretending like he was a caller, and then only his voice changed, but it still sounded like he was still a caller.
Okay, let's get things.
Okay.
Get things under control.
Back to where we were.
Yeah, Black Friday. I mean, it's the same for me. It's the same as like Moores. So I worked at Moores for like a year, and if you go into, you back?
I think so.
A little better. If you go into Moores and like buy a full price suit there, you're an idiot. Like
you're a dummy.
the suits go from like $1,000 to like $300 every month.
Yeah. It's the same with a lot of stores, but I mean, they must get idiots that buy it full price.
Well,
Because
yeah,
sure.
and for,
like if they sell one suit at 1,000, I mean, it's like getting 3 birds stoned at once.
yeah,
You know, like,
and
and then they
with
can,
Moors, it's like people need suits sometimes. Like funerals is a big one. Like that's the main one where you like need a suit this week. Weddings you can plan a little bit further ahead in advance, but funerals are their big like got you, which is kind of shitty, but
Yeah.
it's the same for TVs. Like if your TV breaks, you're not going to wait till next Black Friday to buy one.
right.
Moose is also good. Like if you're on their mailing list or sign up with them or whatever it is, like every time I go there, they're like, "Let me just check your account and see if there's any gift cards on there." And sure as shit, there's like $100 every time I go there. Usually, like they give $50 for your birthday or something like that to spend at the store. So, yeah, you're absolutely crazy if you end up paying full price.
Yeah.
Why did you pick up another TV, Reg?
No, we were talking about crossing the border and then it turned into Black Friday.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But Moore's, like, they gotta be the one place ever besides like small town businesses that like has never gone online. Like if you
because it's such a
if you try to shop online from
item.
Moore's, have you ever tried to go on their website?
It's nothing.
I feel like I could create a better one tonight. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah,
but I mean, like you have to go get fitted. You have to. They're gonna have to adjust things, so it's tough to buy that off online, I guess.
Yeah, they still have like 90, and I shouldn't say 90, but like half the store still like off the shelf products. So I mean, they could.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that they're still pretty behind the times in a lot of ways. So who knows? It's been like that since I was there, honestly, which was 10 years ago now, pretty much. 10 years ago. Wild. Was working there while I was at BU. It's a pretty good job, actually. I shouldn't bash them too much. And they've done pretty well for themselves, all things considered. But you're right, Reggie. They're like the only store that hasn't been consumed by, but that's big box stores. But even Best Buy, like the majority of their sales, I'd imagine, are still online.
For sure.
So, anyways, let's get to some golf stuff. Reggie, do the cheers tonight. We're 12 minutes in here. It's been a bit of a shit show, so let's speed things up.
The first cheers, we're actually going to do 2 tonight. The first cheers goes out to Gary Woodland. Had brain tumor, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
They removed it. He just went to his first, I guess, public outing. Did you guys see the video from the weekend?
Yeah.
He actually looks pretty good. And he's talking about golfing again in January competitively. The doctors are saying that it's probably not possible, but he's thinking he's going to try it. So good on him. I mean, it's crazy, man.
Absolutely nuts. I think it's better to set an attainable goal for yourself than not set anything. So him pushing himself to get to that January deadline or whatever he's given himself, it's only going to help him in the long run.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if he doesn't make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is crazy though. Like we talked about this last show, I think, or the show before, but you have a brain tumor and it's gone pretty quick. And the doctors and the technology that we have now available, like 10 years ago, that's not a thing. 20 years ago, probably might be dead by now. So it just shows you how things are progressing in the medical world and the medical field. And we're going to look at things as if they're a miracle, and that in a way it is, but it just shows how far the advancements have come. So, but you still have to be in good spirits. To be setting goals like that is good. So shout out to Gary. I've always liked him.
Yeah, he's always been a very likable guy.
He seems like one of those good old boys, from the South. So cheers, Gary.
Cheers to Gary. And we were on the show. We actually talked about him last week, but the second cheers this week, we couldn't decide between one or the other. So we decided to do both because who doesn't really want to drink anyways? Second cheers to one of my. This was you had Tyron Jor. I think Camilo was probably like my guy growing up besides Tiger. Like he was my favorite golfer for the longest time. I mean, I used to imitate him. I think every kid in the world imitated him getting down on the green reading putts. I mean, he was the most popular guy for a long time. And we talked about his style. Did you guys see the color popping on Sunday?
Oh yeah,
Unreal.
heavy pop.
Unbelievable, eh? How good did he look in all white? He might have Sunday white now.
Yeah, he looks sharp, man. He's a good looking dude.
Was he the first guy where you were like, okay, this guy's got some, what do they call it? Some
Style?
Swagger?
Well, I guess style swag, like back in the day, where it was more so, oh, look at what he's wearing,
Yeah.
than his golf game. And then that just kind of brought in Ricky, and then everybody just followed suit with what they're wearing.
He always had JL, right? We said he was Puma, but I think he was always JL.
Was JL even around then? Must have been.
I'm pretty sure he was like the beginning of JL, man. Honestly, like I think he's always kind of had that exact same style. And then with the Jordans, like, oh man, he's sick. It was so sick to watch him win, man. I was so pumped, and you could tell like everybody on the broadcast, he beat Alex Noren, and Noren was like pumped, like gave him a big hug, like. Guy's been through a lot.
Yeah, and been through a lot. They lost their 22-month-old daughter in 2021. So like I can't even imagine. Like when shitty things with kids show up like on TV or on my phone, it's like I gotta get rid of it because I can't look at that stuff anymore. So I can imagine going through something like that and then bringing yourself back out of the darkness and returning to this special form that he's kind of been blessed with.
Did you watch any of it? Either of you guys?
Nope.
I just caught highlights.
I saw the highlights too.
He was hitting like sick shots. Like I'm not like he wasn't just like stepping up and like hitting like a 320-yard drive straight down the middle. Like he was just like shaping the shit out of his driver and his 3-wood, man. Like he was hitting like almost like hooks.
How old is he now?
41, I think it said he was.
41. Still got some game, clearly.
Yeah, big cheers to him.
Tons.
And his family, his wife, everybody over there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then kind of another little like good shout out to sort of piggyback on Camilo, but this fall lineup, I think it was Dustin Dick mentioned it last week. You're kind of getting the shine back on some of the players that aren't top of the marquee. And we've talked about this numerous times on here. That is something that they definitely need to push for. They're doing it. And you get amazing stories like Camilo. And then last week was an amazing story too. So that's what golf is built on. That's what golf's going to succeed on, and that's where they're coming back to.
Yeah, I agree. Well said, Drums. Did we cheers already? Well, cheers.
Cheers to Camilo, man. God, that was sick to watch. I was so pumped.
I ended up watching that video of Tyron of what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 12 minutes long.
Might as well go into it. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, nothing crazy. He was the youngest player to ever qualify for the PGA, which I didn't know, to earn his tour card. He was kind of a child prodigy working with Ledbetter, and he qualified he earned his tour card through Q school one year, and then and then he got mono one year. He got pretty bad mono. And so he only played 2 tournaments that year, and then got the next year as a medical exemption for mono, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then he just never found it again. But the cool thing is that he's been grinding for like the last 15 years, like on different tours. He's won once, I think, on the Corn Ferry or maybe the other tour. But anyways, he's kind of got to the point. He took a few years off of golf because he just had enough. And but the good news is that he's like, I'm just going to keep golfing. I love golf. I'm going to do it. As long as I'm in the Reds, I'm going to keep playing these little tours, keep playing as long as I can keep earning a career from it. So pretty cool.
1000%, man. That's unreal, actually.
That's hilarious.
How do you just get mono and all of a sudden that's the end of your career?
Yeah, no
I think
doubt.
he
You
had
guys
like
ever have
a
mono?
vicious case of it.
Yeah, I must have. I had mono.
Yeah,
It's
you
the
would.
kissing disease.
Yeah, you would, Kissy.
I had.
Ah,
Was
I
kissing.
had. You're kissing
kiss.
everybody. You're smooching everybody.
He's smooching. Quit smooching.
Too much smooching for sure. Okay. Before we get into the golf stuff, I want to give a shout out to Benji, our buddy Benji. He fired up a new initiative, I guess you'd say. It's called Backyard Puck. And basically what he's doing is he's going to fire up a YouTube channel. He's going to be covering, I don't want to really butcher it, so I'll just do my best to kind of talk about what he's doing. But basically he wants to showcase the best backyard rinks in Canada. So he's going to start locally here in Manitoba, go do features on different backyard rinks, the best ones in the province. And he wants to do some like challenges. So if you have a team wants to play another team, I don't know the whole thing, but it's pretty cool. I think that it's Manitoba's kind of the hotbed for the backyard rinks. I think a lot of people are really interested in how they're built, seeing them come to life, all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. And I think that he'll do some cool things with it. So shout out to Benji. You can find him on Instagram. I think it's just Backyard Puck. I'd better double check that before I give misinfo here.
Share that the other day. I didn't know that was Benji. That's sick.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks sweet.
They're definitely becoming more and more popular now than they were when we were kids.
Yes, big time.
Rigs?
Backyard rinks like crazy, man. Everybody has one.
Nobody had one when we were growing up.
No.
You know what I think though? I think the reason is I think like every school had remember those outdoor rinks on every schoolyard, every elementary school.
Yeah, and I guess, and in Dauphin it was like, okay, walk 10 minutes and you got a rink.
Go to the DCT, yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody was there too. Like you never know who you're going to play, join a game. A little different than, I mean, it's a little bit different than just going out to the backyard and working on your skills and stuff, which we obviously didn't do.
I also feel like
social aspect.
I also feel like now, like, take it how you want it. I mean, people don't want when we were younger, we were 9 and 10 and we would just get dropped off the DCT and be there for 8 hours. I mean, you can't really trust to do that anymore. So I feel like people are having it in someone's back. As sad as that is, you don't want to leave your kid there with all the shit that goes on now. So I feel like people have it in the backyard so one parent can look after it.
When I lived in Melita, the rink was on the way to school from the house. So on the way there, it would stop at the rink, go for like an hour skate. On the way after school, I was there till Dad came and got me for supper, and then back home. So like it was 10-minute walk, so it was perfect. But 100%. Like now, just let my kid go to the outdoor rink, not a goddamn chance.
No. And you don't even live like, I feel like, well, Brandon's bad, but I feel like Dawson's more
sketchy. Oh, condensed and everybody.
Condensed, sketchy all around. And like I'm sure there's still, I don't know. I wouldn't let my kid go to the DCT either. Well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say it on live TV, but yeah, I'm not going to drop him off when he's 9 and leave him there for 8 hours. That's for sure.
True enough.
Do you think that, okay, but at the same time, like the golf course, you still can do that. The golf course is still a pretty safe place to drop off your kids.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yes.
But I mean, like when we were kids, like we'd get dropped off there and then we'd take our skates off and leave them, which is crazy to think about now. We'd leave all our stuff in the unlocked DCT warm-up shack, walk to Sev, get snacks, go back to the outdoor rink and put our stuff back on and go skate. Like, I mean, that's just not going to happen now.
Do you think that ever comes back?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any reversing it here.
I think it does too, honestly. It'll take a while, but I think it comes back.
I have a feeling a lot of things are going to take less to get back to how they were than I thought probably like a year ago.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
I think we've always talked about like the pendulum swinging too far one way. I think just there's enough people that are like, get this motherfucker back over here that are pulling it.
It's true. I feel the same, Drums. But
Yeah.
I mean, I've felt that way for a while now. But it's. I was thinking about this the other day. When this might be a little bit deep for the golf chat, but when you're saving, when you're trying to save money, when you're trying to accrue Bitcoin, when you're trying to build muscles at the gym, when you're trying to do this, whatever it is, if you look at things every day, if you look at yourself in the mirror, if you look at your bank account every day, you get so focused on the results instead of like the actual bigger picture process of it, and you kind of forget what's actually happening. And I feel like it's the same thing there. It's like if you actually just focus on doing good instead of like being mad about how shitty things are, I think that's where real action happens. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's my
That's a really
rant
good
for the
point.
night.
That's a good point.
Let's get to some golf, boys. We got a lot of news here for November. I don't know where to start. Where do you want to kick things off, Drums, with around the greens tonight?
I certainly can. I got to try and go through my phone, so we're going to hopefully stay connected here. But we're gonna tee off with something that all three of us missed yesterday, and that was the Netflix Cup. We talked about it a little bit on here, and we were all kind of anticipating watching it, and we dropped the ball. Thankfully, our boy Rob came in clutch, gave me a little breakdown of it. Said he watched it after the fact, so I said, "Okay, you got to give me something to go on here." Said it. I did watch it later, so I could skip all the nonsense. It was pretty meh. It was probably a little bit too long. I think it was about 2.5 hours. The squid, the Squid Game's hole was terrible. Slowed everything right down. JT was pretty tolerable. Damon was fun on the call. Pierre Gasly shanked an iron into dead right into the crowd, which was pretty funny. The sphere in the background was hilarious. I'm over that fucking sphere. They had Marshawn Lynch, absolutely love him, doing the voiceover on the whole flyovers, and he said it was pretty funny. So other than that, I don't know if you got much golf analysis or if there was much golf to be had. Some of the videos that I saw around the event seemed like an absolute shit show, and reminded me a lot of Live, to be honest with you. Did you guys see there was like a protester that was trying to get onto the first tee, and for some reason, comedian Bert Kreischer, I don't know if you guys have ever seen him. He's the machine. He has he was the person that like grabbed this lady as she was coming. He came flying across the tee box, grabs this lady, and was like, "Oh no!" and like pushed her back into the crowd. But Ricky was walking up to the first tee box, and this lady comes up with a sign. Couldn't even catch what was on the side. All of a sudden, Bert tackled her, so that was pretty good.
Nice.
I'll probably catch it if I'm bored one day, but I don't know, man. It didn't. When it came to it, it didn't appeal to me as much as when I thought it first.
Honestly, man, I was at home last night doing nothing. I actually had the night off completely, and I watched the entire Jets game, which was nice, but that's not part of the story. I was gonna try to find a way to watch that, and then I seen the highlight on my phone because I didn't like I knew it was on, but then I forgot, and then I went on Twitter, and it was like that race to get the ball in.
Yeah.
So I didn't race to find it on Netflix after I saw that video. I didn't want to waste any of my time because it seemed like just I wanted something different. I wanted them to. I don't know what I wanted. What do we want?
I don't know what I wanted either.
Like, what do we want them just to play golf like they normally do, and that's what we always bitch about? This too stale. I don't know. What do we want?
It's like dealing with Luca. He doesn't want what you give him, but he doesn't know what he wants, and then he's pissed off about it. So
that's us right now talking about this. Like, what do we want them to do? Just go golf?
Who knows?
Cool.
Well, I wanted them to drive. I don't know. I thought maybe I wanted them to drive like F1 cars down the cart path. Like, let's see how fast they can actually do this hole.
Speaking of F1, Easton showed me this TikTok tonight that said like the ticket prices are like 80% down from what they were, and like they're not selling any tickets, and people are like pissed about it.
For sure, because people are outside again. Nobody gives a shit about what's on TV, and the fact that like the States, every race is on at 3 or 4 in the morning. You're never going to be able to keep that audience.
It's not
I mean,
sustainable.
yeah, they have 2 more races than 2 years ago in the States. So like that's what they have to do to keep that population happy.
But
Like I've
apparently
already
they're like
fallen off too.
all the glass like on the bridges going across, like they block them all off because people can't watch from anywhere where you didn't pay for a ticket. So people like ripping that stuff off.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems pretty messy.
I don't know.
Seems like you get tickets for pretty cheap right now.
I will predict that there is max 1 more race in Vegas. Max.
I don't think so, man. I think it's got to happen every year. I think it's going to be forced.
You think so?
I think so. Man, they
Not
just
if
put
they
in
take a
like
shit
a
kicking-
crazy amount of money into the infrastructure there to have it. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They said that like the paddock is like 3 football fields long.
But I mean, like that's Vegas. Like everything's got to be so extravagant. Like they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. Like I don't think it's going to be as big a draw to Vegas as it is. But then again, you'll get 100 or 200 celebrities that blow a shitload of cash and make it all worth it. So I don't know.
Plus, man, when we went, like I think I told it on here, but I mean, this was supposed to be even more than that. And like when we went, like a hat was $120 and like a hoodie was like $300, and like
Yeah, you went peak season.
Everybody had one on.
It's decked
Every
out.
single person was completely decked out. Like everyone was wearing $1,000 worth of clothing.
Yeah,
I honestly don't think that celebrities are gonna like keep showing up. Like celebrities aren't the ones who are the trendsetters. They just like see what everybody likes and then they spend their money and be there and like try to be the cat's ass. Like they're not really the ones.
No, they get paid
If
to go
people
there.
stop paying attention, what's that?
They get paid to go there, like appearance fees and shit.
Do they? I don't know.
I would think like a good
the
majority
really
do.
famous ones.
No, maybe not like. Yeah, I would think so anyway.
I don't know. Who knows? Not me. Speaking of infrastructure, I'm going to do a brief pause on around the greens. This is part of it, but from myself, I'm sure you had this on your list too, Drums. But did you see the roof collapse at the TGL Dome?
Mm-hmm.
When I first saw the picture, I thought it was like the actual golf dome in Winnipeg.
So did I. So did I.
Did you guys see what
I don't
happened?
know. There's enough money around there that it'll be fixed. There won't be an issue in January.
Yeah.
It said it's supposed to cause a delay in the season. That's what it's 2 reports that I read said that, and it was because of a power outage and like everything was being held up by air. So then when the power cut out, the air stopped going, and then it just collapsed. Like, I guess air was holding it up.
Like one of those inflatable Santas.
Yeah.
Precisely.
There goes Santa goes.
The waving guys.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The flailing arm guys. I heard that it was you'd think that in Florida
an overnight failure to the temporary power system during the construction phase caused deflation and damage to the air supported dome section of the site. At this time, while we assess the damage, is too early to determine the impact on our timelines. There were no injuries and no technology was impacted. Other work on site is continuing.
I mean, it's probably true. It just sounds a little bit weird. Like they couldn't foresee that happening if the power goes out. The dome collapses. Like who built the fucking thing?
The air supported dome will be 75 feet high. It's an air supported dome. I don't get that.
Something's fishy there. I think it was Hurricane Jon Rahm that blew through. He bailed on them. They're toast, and they're trying to blame it on.
Holy God! Look into stuff more. It probably just collapsed. Things are allowed to happen on their own.
To finish up on the Netflix Cup. To finish up on the Netflix Cup, JT and Carlos Sainz won it, and then proceeded to break the trophy into 6 or 7 pieces. Carlos Sainz stopped it.
Really?
Yeah, he was like he was so heartbroken, and nobody else gave a shit around him. So that
Oh, it was
kind
an
of might
accident.
just be the end of the Netflix Cup. What's that?
It was an accident?
Yeah, like I think it just slipped out of his hand, or maybe bumped something and fell out.
Who dropped it?
Carlos Sainz.
Carlos Sainz. What a beauty.
Yeah. The Bryan Bros. I think we've talked about them maybe once or twice on here. YouTube content creators, golfers. I don't know what you label these people anymore. But they actually made the cut at a PGA Tour event, both of them, last week at the Bermuda Championship. And now they are headed to the first leg of Q School. So, do you guys think more of these content creators? I know yesterday, Jory, you fired off that DOD King stuff. So it looks like these content creators are going to start taking advantage of sponsors, offering them sponsors exemptions, as they should. It's just going to bring more and more eyes to, again, we'll call them lesser events, or maybe weaker events with where they might be the shining star at an event.
I mean, they made a movie about this back in 1997, I think, titled Happy Gilmore.
Way earlier. 7 might be Tin Cup.
It was earlier than that?
5 might be Happy.
96,
Don't
I
quote
bet.
me.
I'd say 96. But I mean, it was the exact same thing. Like, if social media would have been around when a guy was hitting the ball 400 yards when everybody else was hitting at 250 yards. I know it's a movie, but you know what? It's the same thing. Like, people actually went to the events. They were paying for tickets to see this guy. And it's exactly what's happening with the YouTube stuff. And I think it'll just get crazier and crazier as we go along here.
I also feel like these guys who are doing it on YouTube are like they could do it as a full-time job now, so they have more time to do it. So they're doing it every day. So they're actually playing every day, which is making them
they're
better.
not grinding. They're not grinding and struggling for cash either, right?
Right.
Like, they're making millions off their YouTube. They're making more money on YouTube than they would ever make on a tour.
Right.
So now they have that luxury of just taking that time to practice it better. So I can see it's going to be like I hope it doesn't turn into like an avenue, like a more traveled avenue. I think you just kind of need those outliers. I don't want, and we're seeing it more and more, but like a million different golf content creators, and they're all kind of giving you the same thing.
There won't be. There can't be.
We're fucking part of now, I guess.
Well, kind of in a way, but I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. There's a lot of room for it out there because golf's growing so fast and so sharply. What?
No, sorry. Keep going. That triggered a memory.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we'll ever get to the situation where it's like, there's too many people doing this now. Like, the thing is, if people aren't watching it, then people aren't going to be able to do it for a living. So it's nobody's going to jam anything down your throat. If you want to watch golf, you're going to be able to find golf. If you don't want to watch it, if you're tired of watching it, watch something else. Like, so it'll survive as long as people are watching, I think. American Idol of Golf. Yeah, that'd be fun, actually. Right? That's one thing that they need. They need to bring back the big break. That was a lot of B's.
That's what they need the big break for, and have these personalities on it.
Yes.
Like, could you imagine DOD King on Big Break? Be hilarious.
Well, and a lot of them have different. They're not like really well-rounded golfers. A lot of them are like either long drive hitters, or they're really good. They're hit it off the deck, etc. Or they're really good short game. I think that would be something that people would actually really enjoy, is like stuff like that, instead of making them go to a PGA Tour event and get demolished by everybody.
Yeah, what's Mac Bushy's weak spot?
Mustache growing.
Like, do you think it's putting? Like, do you think he's a shitty putter?
Like,
because he hits the ball wherever. disgusting, man.
wherever he wants. And now that I'm thinking about it, I can't remember a video of him putting.
Yeah, he like posts the odd one of him making them, but like,
right.
I don't know, man. Like, it has to be because he can just shape the shit out of it both ways off the tee. Maybe his weakness is just hitting it straight, but like he does that the odd time too. I don't know, man. But then it also just goes to show you how good all those pro golfers are, that they could do that stuff probably.
And
too.
even the guys that we don't know their names.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
More so.
Man. Like on every tour there is. On the mini tours, like you could go out and golf with one of those guys and you'd be absolutely blown away. I feel like it's the one sport that's like if an amateur tried to play on a tour with any of those guys, he would get absolutely blown out of the water. Not the one sport, but like the one sport that you don't really realize how good those guys are.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
Let's keep moving on, boys.
Another name that we've never heard of before, but Thursday set a PGA Tour course record, or not a course record, but a tour record. Adam Long set the record for hitting 69 fairways in a row. 69 fairways in a row. That is.
Yeah, he hit every fairway at the tournament. At the tournament the weekend before at Tigers course, they hit every fairway.
Yeah.
What's your guys' record, do you think?
3.
4? I would say the same. That's crazy.
That's insane.
69 fairways in a row. Imagine how dialed that is.
Yeah, the previous record was 48, so this guy's had it for a couple weeks, but finally he missed the fairway, so that ends it. Our boy Monday Q. This was a good one. So last week, Ryan messaged Phil Mickelson, if you've heard of him. Messaged Phil, asking if he would have any interest or if he would be available to lend some help to his boy, Mark Baldwin, who was just getting started preparing for Q school. Very shortly after even sending the message, Phil texted back, said, yep, let's set something up. So they set up a 9-hole round. I don't know if it was like an actual match or if it was just a round, but they set up a 9-hole round. After that round, Phil invited Mark back to his property where he's got like a practice facility at his property. They worked on his game for most of the day there. And then the next day, they went and played 18. So Mark himself even called this like the coolest, most unbelievable experience of his golfing career. And this is a guy that played on the PGA Tour and had some decent success as a professional. But just getting that, like, I don't even know, like, what do you call that? Like some help, coaching, whatever it is, some mentorship from Phil. Just a little feather in his cap. And like Ryan said in his tweet, this is partially who Phil is. He is a good fucking dude at point.
Which goes against the Kngdom.
Huh?
Reggie told a story about Phil, about some fans winning a contest, and he like wanted to bet them, and then he didn't finish the round or something. So I mean, you have to wonder after hearing both sides of that, if the story that Reggie heard is maybe falsified a little bit, or if Phil has just grown up and sees things differently, acts differently, more to prove in the golf world than he did then. Tough to say. What do you think, Reggie?
Yeah, probably that. I don't know. I would say that what I thought, honestly, when I saw it, and maybe I'm wrong for thinking it, is just like Monday Q's kind of like he's not a huge deal in the golf world right now, but it's an into. I mean, he was on that Fire Pit Collective.
Fixing his image.
It's an in. He asked him, so for Phil to, maybe his publicist was like, hey, go do this for 24 hours and then it'll make you look like. But maybe that's not right. Maybe it's just he did it out of being a good guy. I mean, I've never sat down with Phil. I've never gone for coffee with him. all that I know about him is what I hear from other people. So I mean, I heard one story that way, and then I heard this. So it's tough to really put a finger on it. But yeah, it's cool either way. It's really good for that Baldwin either way, regardless of how the story,
Yeah, I think it would be
why it happened or how it happened. It's still sick.
I think it would kind of be a mixture of how you mentioned, like if the publicist kind of first got wind of it. I'm sure Phil doesn't have. He's not the first one checking his DM.
You
I'm
don't
thinking
think?
the publicist or somebody. I don't think so. I think somebody goes through
mean-
them and rifles through them.
Oh,
Reads
maybe.
them.
He definitely tweets, though.
He does. No, 100% he does. And then would have been like, hey, this would be a good idea to maybe help an image, not necessarily clean it up, but help an image.
Reggie, how reliable was your source?
They golfed with him.
Like the people who told you this
Yeah, but
story
I
were
mean,
the ones
like
who
that
golfed with him?
could.
Sorry, go ahead. This is hard. There's like a slight delay, hey?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's throwing me off big time, but it's okay. It was actually Farnsey's dad's buddy, I'm pretty sure. Like, good buddy.
So that's not who told you then.
Farnsey's dad did.
Yeah. His
Not the
buddy,
buddy,
then.
but.
Or you're playing telephone.
Yeah.
You're playing telephone, Reggie.
And I actually.
Yeah, but you don't know, like, his
undershot
mom
on
could've-
the details of it.
Yeah, but his mom could have died, or something could have happened. He had to peace out. Nobody knows that.
That's true. And that's why you should never, ever, ever. I don't mean to be a weenie here, but, and this is a message for myself too. When I say things like this, I'm saying it to myself too. But you should never judge somebody strictly by one story you heard about them from somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Or even like whatever. We'll carry on.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll keep on Phil for a moment here. The PGA Tour announced that they plan to offer its members an equity stake in the new for-profit entity that is being formed. Our boy Phil had a comment on that, of course. What an amazing change of philosophy in just 2 years. Jim Monahan said in October 21 that if it's not owned and controlled by the PGA Tour, it would be viewed as hostile. And Phil continued on, went on to thank Liv, the PIF, and His Excellence, Saudi Arabia, and all the players willing to stand up to threats and disparagement to force this positive change on tour. He's just going to dig the knife and twist it every chance he gets.
And you know what? I do the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm. He's not even being like that crazy.
No, he could be a lot worse than he's being. Yeah.
For sure. Have you guys ever played pickleball?
No.
Do you think you could beat the number one? Do you think you could? Yeah, I'm with you. Do you think you could beat the number one player in the world?
In a rally.
Scotty Scheffler sure did. It looked like he beat the wheels off that guy. So I thought he won like the entire match. I just found out like an hour ago that it was just a rally. He didn't actually win the match, Scotty, against
it's just the one
number
rally,
one ball there. Yeah.
that was wild.
The PGA Tour announced that their app now lets you add, I'm not sure how many, but I think it's up to 5 golfers to your lock screen. So it's going to make it a lot easier to track through tournaments. You just put your favorites on your lock screen, pull her up, they're right there for you. Next up, we got our boy. We talked about him when it happened, but he's a free man. He's out. Just released. And he's not a fugitive either. This is legal. Angel Cabrera, former Masters champion, is fresh out of a 30-month stint in prison in, where was he? Argentina and Brazil. I think he did a stay in both, which, holy shit. I don't think you could pick 2 worse countries to get locked up or thrown in the clink in.
What was the second
But
one?
he is starting to. I think he was in Brazil first, and then got extradited to Argentina.
Yeah, I
And
think that
Brazil is
sounds right.
no joke for prison. But he's starting to make his comeback tour attempt. He'll probably end up on the Champions. I think he's kind of past that age. I think even when he won the Masters, he was quite old, 40, mid 40s. I'm not sure how old he was, but I
Yeah,
think
he'd be
past
mid
40.
50s now, I would say.
Yeah. So he's definitely going to be working on. Do you think you get exemptions onto the champ? You have to, right? Onto the Champions Tour.
Prison exemption?
Do you
I don't know
think
how it
if
works.
you
Yeah, like
do you think if you get arrested, you
if you're
lose
a-
those?
if you're a felon, yeah, if you're a felon, do you have to give that up?
I don't think they're given
Huh.
exemptions for that personally, but I don't know for sure.
No, not exemptions for that, but do you think you lose your exemptions if you go to jail?
Oh,
No, I'm not saying he he gets to go play in tournaments because he beat the piss out of his wife and did a 30-month stint. You won. Like that's not why.
Hey, he couldn't make it last year because he was serving time. We'll let him in.
no, they probably gas that. Quickly, another pause here, drums. I listened to a podcast the other day. Speaking of prisons, so this guy was traveling to, I believe it was Afghanistan or Iraq, one of the two, and he was looking into starting like a gold mining company there. Super interesting story. Anyways, this guy's kind of crazy, but so they took him into jail, and his whole experience of being in jail was like completely reverse of what it was like the Taliban that captured this guy. And his experience in jail there was the complete opposite of what I would have thought it would be. I expected like torture, physically, emotionally, all this kind of stuff. But he said it was basically outside in a jungle, and the guards were like his bros. He was doing different things with them. He could pretty much do whatever he wants. They're like invited him to come back in a year from now. Like it's a pretty crazy story, honestly. If I remember, I'll put it in the chat or in the description for people to listen to. It's just a kind of a cool story that, no real moral of the story there, just something that, might change your perspective a little bit on different things. So if I remember, I'll do that. But I thought I'd share that about the Taliban prison. So maybe Argentina
Have
and
you seen
Brazil
like
ain't that bad.
have you seen like the prisons in I think it's like Sweden and Finland and stuff like that. So they just look like $3,000 a month apartments that you'd find
Yeah,
in the city. Like it's just crazy.
a little different than ours. Reggie would know.
We're gonna quickly move on here.
Thank you.
Yeah. The next one I got, and we've talked about this gentleman before on here, when he first kind of started his comeback tour on the PGA early on in our history. But Will Wilcox, he had a drug issue and was doing a little bit of a comeback. He had some exemptions that he got on tour. But this one is Fourplay's YouTube show, the Fourplay podcast from Barstool. They have a YouTube show with one of our favorites, Dan Rappaport. He's probably, if not the best, probably in the top three of coverers of the game. And he does a little interview play show on there called Nine at Mine, where he goes to whoever he's interviewing. He goes to their course and plays 9 holes at their course. And he had Will Wilcox on. And it's just an awesome interview. He's just an absolute beauty. He reminded me so much of Ryan Horn. It's just crazy how kind of
Really?
parallel a lot of their
Drums froze. Reggie leaves. I guess I'll just talk to
the
myself.
redemption of
Drums are back.
going through a lot of issues with drug abuse, just a general partier, got kicked out of school. So definitely check that one out. It's about an hour long. but great stories of his upbringing. He had kind of one of those angel investors who helped him out when he first turned pro. Didn't have to pay for very much at that time, so it was cool. Awesome interview. I hope he does a lot more of these with kind of just beauties of the game like this. He calls Danny or Rappaport calls Wilcox the most interesting man in golf, and he's got a pretty awesome story to back it up.
You know what? Sorry, Drums. What was that on? Is it just YouTube or?
It's on YouTube. Yeah, just Foreplays YouTube channel, I guess.
Foxy was telling me that Will Wilcox was on a podcast. I don't know if it was. I think it was actually on Monday Q's podcast. He said it was absolutely incredible to hear his story and just like
awesome.
Was it Oxy that he was hooked on?
Yes. Yep.
Oxy Kitten.
And like,
thanks a lot, Robert, whatever his name is.
But like he wasn't like doing an insane amount of drugs. He just did them, just liked them, like the party. Like he was just a party guy in school. Like he didn't really do anything like super crazy. He just was always down to party, just have a good time, Charlie. So no, he's an absolute beauty. He's Sanjay's caddy, but like they can't speak, right? Like he doesn't speak Korean, and he doesn't really speak much. So it's just it has to be insanely tough to be a caddy of a golfer. But Sonny seeked him out. He was caddying for like another buddy on tour, and Sonny seeked him out and was like, "Yeah, come along." They played some college events together, knew each other that way, and Sonny picked them up, and they've just been cruising since. He says that, I don't know, he might be the funniest person on the planet, judging by the rest of the Koreans out there, because every time they come around, they're just pissing their pants laughing. So I don't know what he's saying. He might be chirping me the whole time, but he sounds like he might be a funny bugger in Korea.
So Will Wilcox is Sonny's caddy?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's wild.
Just started this year. Like got picked up this year.
It said he
and
spent
then
$1 million on heroin. Hey,
I didn't hear that.
That's what he said in an interview.
All right, so he did like the party a lot more than he might have.
He said he was a PGA player with a drug addiction.
And then and then it was I forget who, but another player told him to come play like this cash game he was playing. And then the guys, like, after when he got to the tee box, he's like, "Yeah, no, I played on tour last week. Like, I'm a tour professional." And the guys that he was playing were like, "Nah, whatever. You're just like a teaching pro." Thought he was bullshitting with them. So he mopped these guys, and then like a cash game, and then like, "No, we're not fucking paying you. Like, you sewered us." And so like they blocked him in, took all the shit out of his car, left his golf clubs, and fucked off. Yeah, like it's just crazy. So he's got some stories, that boy. Yeah.
Is he making a comeback or?
No, he's just gonna caddy. Loves caddying. Absolutely loves caddying. He said.
He picked a good guy, I think, to get on his bag.
Yeah, jump on that train.
Who caddied for Sonny before? We talked about this on here before. Oh, Alvin Choi, eh? Canadian.
And then we're going to wrap it up with this one. Reggie, Jorah wanted to mention it before we got going, but we dicked around too much. But if you can pull up the Carl video.
Yeah, I sent it to the drive.
We can quickly toss it back to him. But Reggie, give us the setup here. What are we doing? This guy,
do you want to see what it looks like, Reggie?
We got it wrote down that pure electricity. That's all I've got to go on here. So, Reggie,
do you guys know who Carl Yuan is?
No,
not by name.
He had a different name before. That's why I was confused. I was like, I saw Carl Yuan on the leaderboard, and I'm like, what? Like it's like a Tom Kim type deal.
Here's your video, Reggie.
That's what it brought up as? Oh, that's too bad.
electricity, absolutely. Wow.
Okay, so when we promised the 150 episode, we'd have something special. Tonight's been the wildest episode of the year.
Look at this video, man. Look at this guy. This is the guy that
Oh,
finished third
we're
on
not
the
watching
weekend.
it on your.
Yeah, just send me the YouTube video, Reggie.
I did.
Quit.
No.
This is him, man. This is the
Yeah, but I can't see it. We can't see it. We can't see it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this guy. Yeah.
He changed his name.
What was his old name?
I like some kind of Chinese name.
Jesus Christ.
Look at him walk this putt in. The guy's an absolute legend. And he finished
What was
third
this guy's
place on the
name
weekend.
before?
So anyways, it was like he stuck like 3 iron shots tight, and I didn't see his swing when he was hitting them. And it's like, oh, Carl Yuan, if he could putt today, like he'd be near the top leaderboard. All of a sudden, it shows his drive on 18, and he like finishes one-handed and like falls completely backwards. I'm like, that's that guy. He finished third place on the weekend, man. He's like absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, that's the guy. Like he hit another player like with his club. Like
yes,
finished,
that's
right?
the guy, man. And he finished third place on the weekend. He's like dialed. If he could have putted, he would have won.
Well, he must
Like,
have
he's
some
just
game
chucking.
if he's been in
Yuan?
the PGA.
Well,
Yuan
look up what he
Yechin.
was called before that.
That's it. Yuan Yechin.
This is a new American named Carl.
Carl.
Yeah, he just switched to Carl.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Should we have Carl Yuang? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Should we
on
have
the
Carl
show?
Yuan in place of the eye for the King Golf logo? Should we have his follow?
Oh, that'd be sick, man. Like they showed it and then they broke it down, and it's actually like his backswing's like perfect, and then he finishes and hits the ball, and then all of a sudden both of his feet are in the air, and he finishes one hand, and like the driver just goes like way out. It's like nuts, man. And he was
I did see like
chucking darts.
I did see a breakdown where it was slow-mo too, and it was like up to here and down to here. It's absolutely perfect to like a millimeter before impact, and then
And then he just like explodes.
it like
He just
skipped.
goes
Yeah,
nuts.
it skipped to like a foot past the ball, and he was like this. Yeah, it's like he was handling a grenade and just get the fuck out of here.
So one lesson tonight: if you send a video and you click share from YouTube to Drive, it just sends the text version of it. Because that's what I did.
Yeah. Well,
No,
you
that
did
was
it during
amazing.
the show, so I don't know. Can't guarantee you did it correctly.
Not going to work out. So we won't be using Drive from now on.
We'll get it figured out.
Maybe episode 151 we'll figure it.
Okay. Drums, does that conclude Around the Greens?
That's got her, boys.
Good saggy. All right. Fix your divots tonight. Fix your divots. Brought to you by the best golf tour on this side of the border. What do you say? Probably. The Prairie Scratch Tour. Manitoba's best golfers competing for numerous titles throughout the summer. All across Manitoba. They're hopefully going to move a little bit west. Start playing the Oak Islands, the Wheat Cities, our favorite courses around here. They're kind of limited to the city and outskirts of the city so far. But we got a bunch of Westman guys going in there on weekends to play against these guys. They're putting up some good scores, good results. It's great to see. And so Prairie Scratch Tour is the sponsor of Fix Your Divots. Great guys doing great things. And Reggie is playing in a tournament next year. So we'll see which one. Maybe we'll do a poll for which one Reggie should play in.
Ooh.
Well, I just had an idea.
Okay.
I'm down a 3/4 glass of wine, and I'm starting to get ideas.
All right.
What about a Ryder Cup within the city limits versus rural? in Manitoba.
Well, you know what? 10 years ago, I would have said that Rural would get absolutely stomped, but I don't think that's the case anymore.
Still, they might, but
Still
you'd have to
might.
have the event to know.
But I think that Team Westman would put up a much better fight than they would have 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah, I think that'd be a cool event.
That would be a cool event. Maybe
every year.
And do like a home and home.
Yeah.
And do tryouts, or like you get your points. Points-based system goes towards the team if you make the squad or not. That'd be cool.
Let the Prairie Scratch Tour. Let the Prairie Scratch Tour come out to this side, or vice versa. These guys start going in there. You compete in the events, get certain points, and then
flip-flop, just like the Ryder Cup.
I was thinking Patty Law's Tour, but I think it's more interclub than it is.
Yeah. Same idea, though. Good idea, Reggie. Maybe we'll reach out to Jordy with that idea. Anyways, thanks to Prairie Scratch Tour. Keep up the great work. Check out their Instagram page and sign up for a tournament next year. Why not? Maybe you'll see Reggie out there playing. Drums, what's the Fix Your Divot segment tonight?
This one came from, I don't have my access, but I think it came from our boy Geoff, Davey Davidson.
Yep.
Perfect. And he says, and I love his verbiage here, hardos looking for their ball that they pumped 200 yards into the bush. Completely agree. Times I am that hardo. Just give me a walkthrough of the first 3 feet of the bush. After that, I'm good. You never know. Sometimes a miracle could happen.
I agree.
Has never, but it could. But I'm with it. I'm with them. If you shit pump one that has absolutely no chance, tee it up again. Like, let's quit wasting time working for balls. Even during like men's night, it's a thing. We got to start clocking guys or something. Everybody's got to be cognizant of how long they're spending looking for a goddamn ball.
I always look and see like if there's an opening.
Yeah, me too.
Close to where I hit it, I just like walk there quickly and just do like a quick circle there and just see if I could see it in the open, because I feel like sometimes it's there and you're like, well, if I would have went over there, I would have known.
Right.
So it's just a quick. But if it's like a fully treed hole and there's no openings anywhere, and guys trudge through the bush to go look for their ball that was like 30 yards into the bush, like, what are we doing here? You're not going to find it. If you do, what are you going to do? And then on top of that, if they find it in the bush and then they just take it out for one and they're like, oh, it's just one stroke, right? You don't have the heart to tell them, no, that's not how golf works. So you let it happen. So now you just have to wait for them to go deep in the bush. They found their ball 30 yards into the bush that was gone, and then they bring it out for one stroke, and it's like, okay, is that the same Top Flight 5 you're using before you went in there? I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I go in there quickly. Even if the worst thing is I never find my ball. I never find
everybody else's.
I find everybody else's. I don't know what it is. I think it's because as soon as I hit it and it's a bad shot, I don't really watch it. Yeah. And then when it's somebody else, I know exactly where it is and I can find it easily. But I'm with Reggie here. Like, I'll look in the bush quickly and kind of scope out an area of like where I would want it, where I would want to find it. If it's not there, it's done. Like, I mean, especially in bush like Carberry, Gilbert has some bush like that. Dauphin Lake, thicker bush, like you're not getting it out of there. So what's the point? You might get poison ivy too. So look in the spots where you might want it to be. If it's not there, move on.
Yep.
And
to piggyback kind of on that,
no, go ahead, because I'll round it out with something.
So if someone like looks for like 3 minutes inbounds and then like goes and spends another 5 looking out of bounds, like, what are you actually looking for it out of bounds for?
Find the ball.
I don't get that.
Yeah, find the ball. Okay, but like, don't waste 8 minutes of everyone else's time to find your ball. If you want the ball and you know it's out of bounds, go there. Like, yeah.
So that was Fix Your Divots, Prairie Scratch Tour, Jeff Davison, and should give a shout out to Jeff too. I texted him today, actually. He's got a new Instagram page as well. In addition to Benji, Jeff's is called Manitoba Hunting Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Really good account on Instagram. It's at Manitoba Hunting Challenge. He kind of just documents his all the different things he's hunting for, fishing for. He's a pretty entertaining guy. I'm not a big hunter myself. I'm learning a few things and being entertained, which is exactly what I look for in an account. So shout out to Jeff for Manitoba Hunting Challenge and for
Yeah,
Fix Your Divots.
I actually followed him today because I got such a kick out of his video that he posted today.
With his
Did you
broken
see it?
ankle.
Oh my god, he's talking about this guy that fell out of a tree stand, and he's like going on about how he just hurt his ankle and how it could be much worse. And he like pans the camera around, and he's in a walking boot. Also, is there any way to make this thing stylish?
He's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah, I got a good kick out of it.
Okay, Reggie, for the main event tonight, we're running a little bit long on time, not short on time, but I want to go through this in good time. So even if we have to do it for, half an hour here, 20 minutes, there's no sense rushing it. Let's do this right. And let's see what you guys have. So Reggie, what is tonight's Reggie's Stroke Saver?
The title of the show tonight is Know Thyself. At the end of each season, I take a pencil and paper and make a brutally honest appraisal of the state of my game. If you're serious about wanting to improve your play, you should do the same thing. Divide your game into the following categories: driving, fairway woods, long irons, mid irons, short irons, wedges, bunker play, chipping, putting, and scrambling. Once you complete this list, give yourself a handicap in each area. If you're a 15 handicap overall but have a reputation as one of the best putters in your club, give yourself a 0 to 5 handicap. But be honest on the other side too. If bunkers have you completely baffled, don't rate yourself better than a 30 in the sand. This exercise, in honesty, will do two things for you. It will instill you with a feeling of confidence in the areas that are relatively sound, even if you already have that confidence. The exercise of actually writing a low number next to your strengths will further reinforce that feeling. 2, by coldly and candidly recognizing your weaknesses, you'll be able to take the first step towards strengthening them. From this point, you can establish a game improvement agenda for the next season. Lessons needed, drills, a practice program, workout plan, etc. Also, talk about writing things you did well at the end of the year. Swing adjustments, routine additions, swing thoughts, etc. Man, I didn't know how that was going to go after this 3/4 cup of wine, but not bad.
Not bad. And that was from Greg Norman's book titled...
Oh, I didn't have that on here. Sorry.
Yeah, I should have put that on there. Sorry. Greg Norman's book. I think it's 100 Lessons About Golf. Anyways, that's where it's from. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to chat about ours quickly. And we encourage you at home to write down. We did the exercise ourselves. It is kind of interesting. I've never done this before. I've never looked at my golf game from like such a microscope. It's like, how you been playing lately? Decent. What's good? What's bad? But you don't really like go line by line and see, what you're saying about yourself. So it was an interesting exercise to do, I thought, anyways.
Yeah.
I'll kick things off here tonight.
Sorry, before you do, what do we got for category? Like, what are we kicking off? Like, per the category, what you gave yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, and how many do we have?
10.
I'm missing one. Fuck. Drivers, fairway woods, long iron, mid iron, short iron, wedges, bunker, chipping, scrambling.
Yeah, scrambling you missed. Scrambling eggs. Are you guys good at scrambling eggs?
I hate eggs.
You hate eggs?
I'm a scratch at scrambling.
What the hell's wrong with you, Reggie? Okay, I'll start things off because I never start things off. So let's go through Jor's game. Brutally honest assessment of my golf game. Actually, there's nothing crazy on here. So I gave myself basically as like a, I would say I'm about a 4 to 8 handicap, depending on, what app you're using or whatever. So I kind of went off of that. And so I ranked my driving as a 7 handicap, fairway woods 5 handicap, long irons 7 handicap, mid irons, which is my highest number here, 15, which hurt to put down. Short irons 8, and then wedges 5, bunkers 3, chipping 3, putting 7, and scrambling 0. And I noticed because my mid irons is a 15, it balances out with my scrambling and chipping as a 3 and a 0. That's kind of my highlights of my games. And
I would put your driving higher than what you have it as, but
well, I mean, it's better than it was.
not higher, I guess. I lower, I guess. Sorry, not higher.
Yeah. I mean,
your driving is definitely like
Way
as
better.
good
is
as
it like
a lot
a
of scratch
low?
golfers.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably it. What did you have? At 10? What did you say
70
it was?
had.
I had a 7 handicap.
Close.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably between. Like I'm a
5 to
my
9,
driving
like
is,
something like that.
what's that?
Like I think at best that you're a 5.
Yeah.
Driving at worst you're a 9.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I would say I'm average for like my handicap. I drive it as how a 4 to 8 handicap would drive it, I think. And I never used to, so maybe that's why it seems like it's better now. But that's where I'm at. So what do you guys have?
You want me next?
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay. I'm a 16 handicap. For driver, I got 23 to 25 handicap. That's definitely the worst portion of my game. Often talked about on here. Fairway wood, 17. Long irons, I got 15. Mid irons, I got 12. Short irons, I got 12. Wedges, I got 12. Bunkers, I've got 15. Chipping, I've got 12. Scrambling, I've got 6. And then putting, I got 18.
You have what for putting?
18.
That's probably
So
pretty
I
fair.
don't know, what's the actual definition of a scramble? Like for me, I take to the trees. If I hit this amazing shot, it ends up on the green and 2-putt. That's a scramble in my book. Yes?
Yeah.
Or is it more
Yep.
scrambling around the greens? I did miss the green. I made the up and down to
Both.
the par.
Combination.
Both? Okay. Yeah, so my scrambling is more, there's a lot more trees involved than just a scrambling around the green. I've got to make usually a decent shot to get back in play. And over the years, I've grown pretty good at that.
Reggie?
I kind of did like man, I don't know. I struggled with this because like on a normal year. So I did for the first 4, I would say like I did 2 separate ones.
Yep.
If that's fair.
Yep.
Like the last few years driving, I don't know. Like I'm going to leave the driving the same. I would say probably 5. I'm usually pretty good with the driver in my hand, and I'm probably a lot more. I used to be a lot more gain a lot more birdies with my driver, but I hit just like a little cut or else straight now, and it doesn't gain me a whole lot of strokes, but it probably doesn't lose me a whole lot. I did top a few drives this year, which was I would honestly, the more that I go see like doctors and stuff, the more everything, like the more I realized that it probably was just a one-off year where it probably won't happen next year. But anyways, driver. So I had driver at a 5. Fairway wood this year I had it a 20 to 25. Being truthfully honest, maybe even a 30. I couldn't hit one, but that's okay. Other years I said about a 5. Usually pretty good with my 3-wood, but not this year. Long irons I had a 20 this year, 20 to 25. Other years I had 7 to 10. It's not usually my, like, I usually played about I would say a 1 or 2 handicap, and it's not great, but I'll still hit like the odd good shot. So I think that's still like a 7 handicap maybe. Mid irons I had a 10
for the most part. Like when you're driving it well, how long are you hitting a long iron? Like how often are you hitting a long iron to begin with?
That's kind of the weakness around here, is that the courses aren't really that long, and I only play men's nights, so we don't play from the tips on men's nights, so you don't really have those. So it's tough to practice. But
yeah,
mid irons. So what's that, like from an 8 to a 6 or 9 to a 6? I would say actually this year on those irons, I had to kind of get them together. I would say probably like an 8 in that area. Short irons, I gave myself a 2 to a 4, and then the rest is basically wedges. I put scratch, bunker scratch, chipping scratch, and then putting I had 10, and then scrambling I had scratch.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty well how I would have ranked it too. But it's good that you did it in 2 separate categories, because you're not the golfer that you were this summer, and I mean, we can talk about all we want. Yeah. So
the thing that I'm trying to be optimistic about it, and talking, like I was talking to Foxy about it, and I was talking before to, I forget who else I was talking to, is just that with everything else being so shitty, like I've really had to lean on wedges and short game and bunker play, and it's actually like that part's actually gotten kind of back where it used to be. So I think I'll be able to get back to the long game, which I always had before.
Yeah.
I hope. Anyways, I got to put in more time next summer too. You can't just go to the course hoping every week that things are going to get better without doing any work, which I did this whole year. So we'll see. It's going to be a good one.
Time's the hardest thing to obtain.
Mm-hmm.
So we got, do you want to just maybe read the last paragraph there, Reggie, like about what you can do for the confidence, and the second part of that of like working on drills and stuff?
So basically, it just this exercise in honesty will do 2 things for you. You want me to read that?
Yeah.
1, it will instill you with a feeling of confidence in the areas of your game that are relatively sound. Even if you already have that confidence, the exercise of actually writing a low number next to your strengths will further reinforce that feeling. And 2, by coldly and candidly recognizing your weaknesses, you'll be taking the first step towards strengthening them. From this point, you can establish a game improvement agenda for the next season. Lessons needed, drills, a practice program, workout plan, etc. Also talk about writing down things you did well at the end of the year.
Yeah. So
swing adjust. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, do you think that it's worthwhile to reach out to somebody like DI and be like, we went through this little exercise on the podcast. We ranked our handicaps compared to these categories. This is Reggie's weakness. This is George. This is Drum's weakness. Do you have any drills or anything that you can suggest for how to improve that? I think that'd be fun. It'd be worthwhile anyways, just to reach out and see what he says. And, the nice thing now is that we have Evo Golf, we have Shanks Golf, we have Rossburn Swingers Club. We're going to be able to work on a few things this winter. So I think it's probably worthwhile setting up some sort of practice plan. And I don't know. I just challenge anybody out there who's listening to this to do this yourself. Driving fairway woods, I'm not going to repeat them. We've been through them a few times, but just write it down. And there is something about writing stuff down. I don't know what it is compared to computers, compared to just thinking it, but writing it down on pen and paper. There's something that connects more, I feel like, with your noggin. So that's my 2 cents on it.
I actually love this.
Pretty cool. And
I'm honestly not as far off as I thought I was to being where I want to be. Like if this is legit, like if this was actually tracked and these were like legit numbers, like obviously it shows you where your weaknesses are, but how not far off you are. Like if my goal would be to be a 12, the majority of my stuff is at a 12. I got 3 or 4 things focused on those. Yeah, pretty easy, pretty simple, pretty good drill. Love it.
I was thinking that as you were reading drums, actually, that the driver and what was the other one? The putting, maybe?
Driver putting for sure.
Yeah. But other than that, the majority of
I think everybody in our area is going to have shitty fairway woods because of the courses around here. You just don't use them as much. So why practice something that you're not going to actually need?
Yeah.
I understand that a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's try to keep this under an hour and a half. Last thing I wanted to say here, a couple things. I'm going to get this going on my phone here. But the first one is that I want everybody to just stop and think about this for a second. So in the last couple weeks, I've had 3 phone calls with people who have lost a significant amount of money online in these different investment schemes and different AI tricks and technology. There's lots of weird stuff going on the internet right now. And it's not only like the 70 and 80-year-old people who are falling for this kind of stuff. It's people like our age, in their 40s, 50s. And so kind of what I want to just say here is that just keep this stuff at the top of your mind. Just watch out for these things. Don't click anything that looks suspicious. Don't open any emails that look suspicious. Definitely don't send any money to anybody that you don't know, which kind of seems like a no-brainer, but there's a lot of people. The people who rip people off are professional criminals. And so they know exactly what to do, what to say to get your money. And as soon as they have your money, you're never going to see it again. And I'm not talking about hundreds of dollars here. I'm talking about high tens of thousands of dollars that people are losing because they're falling for these things online. So what I want to say is just keep it top of mind. I filmed the video on our 88 Sats channel today. I'm going to put it in the description below. It just kind of talks about a few key things to watch out for anytime you're online. You can't sleep on the stuff. It's only going to get it worse, I think, as the AI stuff advances. And I also said that if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're sending money to somebody else online that you don't really know as part of like an investment company program, whatever it is, 10x your investment, I just want you to stop, take a second, and either call me, text me, email me, DM me, and just say, have you heard of this company? Are they legit? I'm not going to charge anything for it. I just don't ever want to have a phone call of somebody who lost their entire life savings to these fucking criminals online. It drives me nuts. So that's what I wanted to say on that. Check it out, share it with everybody that you know. It's like I wanted to keep it short intentionally so people would actually watch it. So it's like a 10-minute video. So that's
They're
that.
definitely coming at like our parents' age now.
Yes.
Like they're shifting into the old people, which is hilarious to tell them that. But no, like I had this pop up. I was talking to you kind of about it a couple weeks ago. Not long ago, my dad was like, "Hey, let me know. We'll start. We'll invest together in this quantum AI technology that Elon Musk's new thing." And I was like, "Well, I'm pretty in tune with that dude. Like, I don't remember this. Don't do anything until I look into it." And like, as soon as you pull it up online, you're like, "Oh, this is some bullshit." And so like, it was real quick. Tell me you did not give any money to anybody for this fucking site because it is bullshit. But it, like, sure enough, fair game to the hustlers too. Like they make a lot of their shit look super legit.
No, we're not giving them
But
a
no,
shout out.
it's
Fuck them.
fucking crazy. And like you said, it's definitely gonna get worse. I don't know. I have some love for some scammers. You target my parents, I'll fucking kill you. But a bit of a scam, like nothing crazy like that. But yeah, funny.
I think I think it's gonna get worse with people our age too, because everyone's in such a tight
Get
crunch
rich
right
quick
now with
schemes.
money, and everything's going up so fast that the get rich
Desperation.
quick, that they're putting people like, give us $1,000 and we can turn it into this, and all of a sudden that $1,000 is like what this person was saving up for a long time, and all of a sudden it's just gone.
And
Gone.
you know
Just
what, Reggie?
post.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. It's desperation. We're living in very hard economic times right now. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it's a reality. And people get desperate. They want to turn $1,000 into $10,000, pay off their credit card that's been accruing and doesn't appear to slow down. And then they lose their money. And then what? They're back at their parents. They're doing drugs. They're committing crimes to try to get that money back. It's a very vicious cycle. When you start stealing money from hardworking people, it's a very vicious cycle.
100%.
And so I'm doing everything that I can here to try to slow it down a bit. But anyways, I did want to give a shout out to Dom, our buddy from Australia. So the Kngdom podcast is on the Fountain app, which we talked about quite a bit on here. Haven't in a while, but it's a podcast app that you can listen to and earn free sats on. So Dom sent us a boost for last week's episode. You can send, he sent 1,000 sats in. And whenever you send a boost, you can actually add a comment on there as well. And so he said, great show, boys. Psychedelics are definitely getting talked about more and more. Might contribute to the Great Awakening. Highly recommend Golf in the Kingdom book for getting mindset right on the course. In hindsight, I'm pretty sure the author was on acid when he wrote that book. Definitely seemed like it.
Hell yeah.
So shout out to Dom. If you're listening to this, you should consider checking out the Fountain app. It's a really good way to earn some free sats just for listening to stuff that you would otherwise listen to. And Golf in the Kingdom. That's his recommendation. Pretty good name too, I must say.
Unreal.
I thought he was suggesting that we make a book called Golf in the Kingdom.
Reggie, you get some acid, you start writing a book called Golf in the Kingdom. I'd love to see that.
All right.
Okay, Drums, take us out of here, brother.
Okay, we're out of here. I'm going to slowly proceed until one of you interrupt me, or if not, that's it. I'm going to hang up. All right, we're out of here. It's another week. We'll see you next week, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Peace out.
If I make it back from the US.
Good luck, Reggie. Love you, boys. Talk soon.
See you, boys.